Ladies and gentlemen, on December the 27th, we had a report that the Secretary of Treasury was assassinated, or attempted assassination on him. He was gunshot in the chest, and reported that he had died on January the 2nd. Then there was a group of men who approached George Bush on January the 3rd, stating that Mr. Henry Paulson is dead. Did you hear about the rumors? Mr. Bush said that he did not hear about it, and that it was a lie. And he said, well, can you prove that he's alive by showing us a body? He said, yes. And then next thing you know, the very next day on January the 4th, he holds a meeting with Mr. Paulson in this meeting here. And I want you all to notice something here. We got the original footage of the meeting here on the White House archives. If you all go right here on the left-hand side, you click on this part right here, which is what I'm going to do right now, where it says current news. Okay? Then you go look for January the 4th, 2008. That's the meeting that was held on January the 4th of 2008, proving that Mr. Paulson is alive. Okay? Then I want you to click over here and click on video, which is right here on the website. And then the video will start here. Okay? And then I'm gonna make the screen larger here so that all of you can see the video. This is Mr. Robert Paulson right here. And this is George Bush. Dick Cheney is sitting over here. But I want you to pay very close attention to this video, because this is going to prove that this man is dead and that George Bush was covering it up. And what I'm going to show you here is pay very close attention to this part right here. Notice his sleeve right here, the white sleeve of his shirt coming out of this jacket, disappearing right before your eyes while his hands are sitting still.
Cause us to be ever more diligent and to make sure that good policies come out of Washington.
Showing you that this man is a hologram trajectory. This is not a real image. When that shirt disappears and changes color right here, it shows a shadow tint to it when it's a full solid white color shirt, showing you that this is an impossibility for the video to change the color of his shirt. But this is showing you much more deep details over here. But also I want you all to pay attention to his demeanor. His character and his motion of his body is not going along with the conversation that's being held inside of this meeting right here. Also I want you to notice the light changing on his forehead when he moves his head, but the light doesn't change color. The lighting in the room does not change the color or reflection of light on George Bush here. But he shows reflection of the light on his face and on his head. But everybody else inside of this room also had the same scenario that looked like Bush. The lighting inside of the room didn't change, but it all changes with him and his face here.
Secondly, we've got to understand.
But notice that his motion, he's very nervous and very timid, like he's wanting out of this meeting right here. And they're showing you that there's something very wrong with this meeting here being conducted. They don't even allow him to speak here. But pay very close attention right here again. Right here is very important. Right here is very important because it's going to disappear right now. And his hand shows that it's going to go through his sleeve.
And so
it looks like his hand is floating through his sleeve right here.
To deal with
you see it?
The economic realities of the moment, and to assure the American people that we will do everything we can to make sure we remain.
And this is not the quality of the video, ladies and gentlemen. This is a projective image that you're seeing right here on this video. And I want you all to pay very close attention to this, because this is the very video that will prove to everyone out there that's very interested in the assassination of the Secretary of Treasury. Because this man here is very significant, and the reason why he died is because of Vladimir Putin. He stole a lot of money from Vladimir Putin, and then also put out a hit on Vladimir Putin before he discovers that his money was missing. Vladimir Putin happened to caught on to it, and he put out a hit on him and killed him before he did so. Also the Chinese Illuminatis and the Japanese Illuminatis, he also stole a lot of money from, and they put out a hit on him. Also in the discovery that they were trying to steal from them, Vladimir Putin also put out the KGB hit out on George Bush, Bush Sr., Clinton, Donald Rumsfeld, and Dick Cheney by sticking the head of a dead horse onto their beds, showing the sign of the Godfather scenario that they're now got a hit out on their heads. And so this is what you all need to pay very close attention in the collapse of this administration, because a lot of things are about to unfold. And I will leave you with that thought until furthermore information comes out, and I will keep you all informed of this. Until then, enjoy your nice day and enjoy this video and learning and researching. There you go.
Operations around the Brecon, Wales area, sealing off the areas of dead bodies and camper vans with missing people. Not sure if this is my original body, but it changed tremendously after the procedure. In my case, thrown into a cage with a huge snake, parentheses, black skin larger than an anaconda. This was just before I was involved in the first stages of a Masonic ritual, which involved being shown ancient artifacts and manuscripts in glass cabinets in a room above a large caged area by a tall man in a suit. Anyway, this is a long, complicated story. My memories are shot through, but I think this happened to me at Brecon Beacon facility. As I have just mentioned, another guy connected to the intelligence says he saw me in this facility. We walked in a van around. We walked in a van around Portmouth area, and we were followed by surveillance cars. And then it says, from my understanding, it takes 1 year to grow a cloned body. So they could have planned to take Mr. Paulson out over a year and replace him with another clone under psychological control. I don't mind using that name.
Right.
However, my information might be out of date by now. The NSA can possibly create a clone in the time that you say. The MIEC, which stands for Military Industrial Extraterrestrial Complex, is racing ahead with their agendas in the last couple of years. And the military and intelligence apparatuses have been given a lot more technology by non-human beings in this time. The NSA can now download your memories and emotions into a computer called soul transference and install into a clone of you and then destroy the original body. I have not gone public with this before, but I will tell you now. Maybe you could pass the intel to the public domain. There is a Masonic ritual above the 33rd degree that is an advanced version of the ancient ritual called Osiris, slain and risen. A mason or other individual is thrown into a cage.
Okay.
Large tiger, lion, snake, etc., and has to fight the animal. The ancient Spartans did this, a version of this. Most of the time, the individual is ripped to pieces. When this happens, the advanced electromagnetic fields around the cage that absorb the bioplasmic body or soul of that person just killed. The bioplasmic body is then downloaded from a computer into the clone body of an individual. Sometimes the person will defeat the animal, but they will usually be seriously injured. When this happens, the bioplasmic body will stay with the original body, and the body will be put into something known as the underground bases, called the tubes. This is a regeneration tank that heals the injured body. Now here's what's striking. Much of this technology was perfected by Himmler and the special projects of the unit of the SS. They were experimenting with Zetan Gray cloning genetics technology, and that provided, combined with ancient magical, spelled with a K, text, as the necromancy, the art of bringing the dead back to life. They found a way to bring our dead soldiers back to life now, regardless of their wounds. The Osiris slain and risen procedure is carried out at an underground NSA facility below Brecon Beacons in Wales and Duluth, New Mexico.
So it's that they can bring him back to life.
Stuff.
Yeah. So they can bring him back to life.
Yes. And I've got a picture of the magazine and the picture of George Bush's clone, and you can clearly see the device.
Mm-hmm.
And so, does that answer anybody's questions? Now, that comes from an agent that is so highly credible, he's more credible than our president. I would believe him before I believe the president.